everyone, my name is Carol and welcome aboard to Knitting on the Hook. I have been busy working on a project where I required a tire thread pattern, so I came up with an idea using some cables and twisted stitches, which I think resemble the tire thread pattern. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to read the chart and how to knit the pattern. So let's get to it. In machine knitting, the knitter always faces the purl side of the fabric, which is where all the stitch manipulation is done, and the final result is viewed on the knit side of the fabric. And this is what this chart represents. It is the purl side of the fabric. These are the symbols used in the chart: a knit stitch, a double twisted stitch, and a 3-stitch cable. Each symbol is made of broken lines and solid lines, and this indicates the order at which the stitches are returned onto the needle bed. The broken lines go first, and they're the one that you will see on the knit side of the fabric, and the solid lines go last, and you will see those on the purl side of the fabric. The solid lines also will show which way a cable will be leaning. In this case, the line is going upwards to the right, so this will be a right-leaning cable. To avoid confusion when knitting on a large scale, I wrote myself some numerical chart, one for the cable and one for the twist, and the numbers indicate the row where the manipulation has to be done, and the letters for the twist indicate which one we have to rotate right or left. I went ahead and started on the pattern. Right now I'm on row counter 10, and on my chart I have to do a cable, and the twist has to be rotated to the right. I like to start by reforming the knit stitches first because it creates a parameter between the twisted stitches and the cable. And if you're not familiar on how to do a knit stitch or a cable or a twisted stitch, in the description below I will have links to tutorials that will help you on how to do this. Now that the knit stitches have been reformed, I'm going to start with the right leaning cable. We know it is a right leaning cable because the solid lines are moving upwards to the right. Another way to know which way a cable will be leaning is the tool, which in this case is in my right hand, is the first stitch returning onto the needle. And the last 2 stitches going last shows us the solid line going upwards to the right. The same principle applies for the left leaning cable. The transfer tool is in my left hand, and on the chart it represents the broken line, and it is going first on the needle. The last 2 are the solid lines, and as you can see, the stitch is going upwards to the left, so that is a left leaning cable. Now that the left leaning and the right leaning cable are done, let's move on to the twisted stitches. In this case, we're doing a right leaning twist, which means that the 2 prongs are going to be twisting upwards to the right. Here we have our knit stitches, our cables, and our twisted stitches. Knit 2 rows. Now the row counter indicates 12, and on our chart we don't have any cables, but we do have a twisted stitch leading to the left, which means that on our chart we are at row number 4, and by repeating these 4 rows over and over, we're going to create the tire tread pattern. This is the knit side of the fabric, which is the mirror image of the chart, which means that whichever direction a stitch was leaning on the chart is now leaning opposite on the knit side. I mentioned earlier that the broken line represents the first stitch returning to the needle, and it will be showing on the knit side of the fabric. In this case, the broken line is going upward to the left, which means that down here on the knit side, it is now going upward to the right. The same applies for the left leaning cable. The broken line is going upward to the right, and down here it is going upward to the left. If you would like to see some images of the project that I'm working on, you can go to the home page and click on the community tab where I have uploaded some pictures. Thank you for watching Knitting on the Hook. Bye for now.